All right, namaste everyone. Thank you for watching this video. So Saturn has transited into his office. Basically, it is the sign of Aquarius. It is the Mula Trikona of Saturn. So many of the moon signs, Sagittarius moon signs, they will be ending their sati. Okay, and Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Especially Pisces, they will be starting their sati. Okay, Saraswati will continue for Capricorn and and Aquarius moons. Okay, and then there are some ascendants or some moon signs which will start your Ashtam Shani. So Ashtam Shani is a condition where Saturn is transiting the fourth or the eighth house from the ascendant or from the moon. Okay. Now, of course, Saturn transits are very feared. People do a lot of remedies related to Saturn. People will find astrologers to look at their charts and tell them what Saturn is trying to do there to do to them, right? But what we must understand, or rather why I made this video, is to when we look at the transit of Saturn, we must understand the one thing that Saturn is trying to teach us, and that is transformation. Okay, whenever Saturn transits any house in the horoscope, okay, it may be your first house, it may be your second house, it may be your 10th house, it may be your 12th house, whatever house Saturn is transiting, the one thing that Saturn will teach you is transformation. Okay, now we know that Saturn, or rather the process of transformation, calls for change. Okay, the process for transformation will call for change, and as human beings, change is something to which we are the most resistant, right? We don't like to change. Even if we don't like a certain part of our life that is not giving us good results, we don't want that part of life to change in any way possible, right? So the divine creator, whatever you wish to call it, Bhagwan, God, Allah, whatever you wish to call it, Rama, Krishna, right, Buddha, the divine creator has actually ordained or given that responsibility of bringing about that transformation to Saturn. And this is the reason why Saturnine transits are very painful. Now Saturn does not give you pain. It is the change that Saturn tries to bring in you as an individual that causes pain. Okay, and the first thing that Saturn impacts is the mind. Okay, the first thing that Saturn impacts is the mind. And the mind is something which is the most resistant to change in a human being. The mind does not want to change. The mind loves to be in familiar conditions. That is the reason the moon exalts in Taurus, because Taurus is familiar conditions, right? The mind loves to be in familiar conditions, even if that condition is not supporting our growth, even if that condition is not supporting our evolution as a human being. The mind still loves to be in that condition. But Saturn, when Saturn comes over the moon, or when Saturn transits in certain houses from the moon, or rather when Saturn goes to any house in the horoscope, the first thing that Saturn tries to bring in that house, or tries to bring to our mind, is the possibility of a transformation. And for that, Saturn will go to any extent possible. Okay, to bring about the transformation, to bring about a change, Saturn will go to any extent possible, right? So for example, if you're having a Saraswati experience, then people will come out from the woodwork to give you that stick. Okay, and Saturn will ensure that the change happens. You are transformed into someone new who you are meant to become. We've all seen the transformation of a caterpillar into a butterfly. The transformation, obviously, it looks very beautiful from the outside, but from the inside, the caterpillar is undergoing a lot of pain. The caterpillar does not want to transform, but nature wants that caterpillar to transform into a butterfly. And when a transformation happens, obviously, the butterfly is really magnificent, really beautiful to look at. Okay, so that is what Saturn is trying to do with you. The Saturn is trying to do with you, rather. Okay, it is trying to change you. It is trying to transform you. So it gives us a choice. Of course, we can happily accept that transformation. We can happily accept that our life is about to change because of this transit of Saturn, and we can go with the flow. This is one lesson what Saturn tries to teach you. You have to go with the flow. Okay, life will not always go according to your expectations, but you have to go along with the flow of life. This is one, one rule of the universe, right? Life goes on, time goes on. And in one of my videos I've spoken about how resistance is created. Okay, so that resistance is actually created by by our mind. And Saturn, he will ensure that every last bit of resistance that you put up against change is collapsed. Okay, he will have his own ways of doing it, and one of the ways of doing it is by making you very, very vulnerable. Saturn suddenly shakes you up. Okay, whenever you have a Saturn over, where you have Saturn going over the moon or going forth from the moon, Saturn will shake up the very foundations of your being, of your personality. Okay, we build our personality through through certain perspectives, certain ideas that we have regarding ourselves, regarding this world, and Saturn will shake up those foundations. It will force us to look at life from a very new perspective. Okay, so if we are, this is where the use of intelligence comes in. If we are intelligent enough, we will see, or we will understand what Saturn is trying to teach us. Okay, and we will gladly, or we should rather gladly, make a change in that direction regarding wherever Saturn wants to take us. That is the reason you see people, undergoing very difficult life conditions like poverty. Someone loses all his or her money. Someone, has a very, someone has a very bad health issue coming up during Saturn's transits from specific positions in the moon. Why? Because Saturn wants you to pay attention to those issues which you had previously buried, or which you had previously put under the carpet. Now all of a sudden those issues will start coming up, and they will demand a resolution. Okay, suppose there is some deep hurt in a relationship, and you have decided to bury the thing under the carpet, and when a Saturn transit happens, that hurt will all of a sudden start coming up. Okay, so initially it will start coming up in your mind, and if you are not willing to change, if you're not willing to transform, if you're not willing to respond to that situation which is coming up due to Saturn's transit, due to Saturn's effect, then Saturn will try each and every means possible to ensure that you change. And if you change, your life becomes happy. At the end of the day, although the process of transformation of a caterpillar from a caterpillar to a butterfly is very, very painful, but the end result of that butterfly fluttering out its wings and flying out is actually very, very magnificent. And that is what Saturn wants you to become. Saturn wants you to become the best version of yourself. Okay, Saturn wants you to become the king. Okay, Saturn is the one who sustains the sun. Okay, Sun and Saturn, they have a very inimical relationship, but Saturn is the one who sustains the sun. Without Saturn, the sun cannot run his kingdom. So Saturn wants you to become the king. Saturn is the kingmaker, and he wants you to become the king. He wants you to shine like the sun. And you cannot shine like the sun without the grace of Saturn. Okay, Saturn has to cooperate. Even if you look at the tattva level, the sun is Agni tattva, Saturn is Vayu tattva. Without Vayu, fire will die. Without air, without oxygen supply, there cannot be fire. Right? Fire has to sustain, air has to sustain fire. It is air which spreads the fire. Suppose some house has caught fire. If there is, if there is a lot of wind blowing, if there is a lot of air blowing, it will not blow up the fire. It will not blow off the fire, rather, it will spread the fire in different directions. That is the job of Saturn, to spread the fire in you in different directions, so that you start burning like the sun, you start shining like the sun. Okay. So as a summary, Saturn, in a one-line summary of this video, Saturn is trying to teach you transformation. And it is, it is very, very important to understand that transformation which Saturn is trying to teach you. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. You can leave behind your valuable comments in the comment section. Kindly subscribe to this channel, spread the content, spread the word. We have a Vedic astrology class for beginners which is running since the last weeks. We have covered 2 weeks of that, and if you want to join the group, kindly ping me on the WhatsApp number that is provided at the description below. You can give me a call as well if you want a discussion regarding your chart. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Namaste. Om Gurave Namaha.